In today's Road to Grandmaster video, Stitches wants to play. We're jumping onto Stitches. In my opinion, actually a very underrated tank in the game right now. Used to be a really bad hero, but I think with a couple of small little buffs, he's become much more relevant to the meta, and I'm going to show you guys how to play him, so stay tuned. Hey guys, Nubkeks here and welcome. Is this the first? I think it might be the first ranked video, Road to Grandmaster video I've done on Hanamura. I think so. So tell you what, I'm going to talk about Hanamura in this one as well. But yeah, the main focus, we also have two main focuses then in this video, Stitches and Hanamura. We're going to go through the draft here. I'm going to talk all about that Hypemura, as we're saying in chat. It must have been the first time I played it actually, or the second. It was the second time I played it. I did a Grey main game on stream. I think you guys probably caught who were watching the stream on that day. But yeah, I mean, we'll just go through. Falstad being banned out makes quite a lot of sense. You know, Hanamura, the global presence of Falstad, the wave clear should actually be very, very useful. And then our team deciding to ban out the Lost Vikings. Again, the Lost Vikings, they bring that sort of global soaking ability, that global pushing ability. They bring Bribe, which is insanely useful on this map because the Merc camps give you so much XP. And then each single Viking counts for a person pushing the tribute. Enemy team first picks an Azmodan, which is pretty broad and pretty open. I think he's a really interesting hero on this map. So he brings like good sort of global pushing, and he brings sort of good global soak and wave clear with the range that he's got, and good poke and stuff like that. I suppose one of the strengths he'd have on some other maps is like making Merc pushes stronger, which he obviously doesn't have in this one because the Mercs don't push the lanes. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting pick. I've actually seen him crop up in a bunch of the games on Hanamura. So Azmodan on this map is definitely something I'm keeping an eye on, though I'm not fully familiar with it yet so far. Our team led off with a couple of kind of crazy early picks. The Kel'Thuz's and the Zul'jin, though I suppose one is a sort of squishy, vulnerable spell damage based hero, and one's a squishy, vulnerable physical damage based hero. So I suppose they can't counterpick it too hard in that sense. But they grabbed Rehgar and Vala. Again, two very solid heroes. You can see we're having a bit of a laugh here. Myself and Nikarasu, who is in... We just recorded the Nubkeks video I did before this one. That was up on the channel a couple of days ago, where I looked at the Neon Cyberak and Nubkeks skin. Oh, by the way, I didn't say, but there's timestamps in the description. It's too late now, isn't it? There's timestamps in the description, though. If you want, you can skip the last bit of the draft. Yeah, you're going to see this is not... We're hovering Arthas here. This does not end up to be basically one sort of typical Stitches draft. Basically, I have no real interest in making an Arthas video. I've done a lot of Arthas videos this season. He hasn't really changed. So I was like, Arthas is a pretty damn good pick here. Because our team captain wants to pick Illidan. Enemy team still needs... even has 2 slots potentially for a warrior. Like, but there's no way that we can leave Arthas open. I mean, he'd just be too good against Zul'jin and Illidan. It'd be too much of a nightmare. You can see I was opening up the warrior. Like, I was happy to change. I wanted to change. You can see as soon as he switches on, I'm there looking. I don't know. I just had a feeling this guy was going to switch or something. And he did. And I was ready for it. But yeah, I was kind of picking Arthas to synergize with the Illidan. With him switching off that Illidan, it opens me up to picking something else. And that something else is going to be a Stitches. So yeah, we're going to rock Stitches here. Triple backline that we're trying to support. You can see Nikapu and the enemy team is having a right old chuckle. He's delighted about this. The Zagara is interesting because of her global mobility and pushing pressure and stuff like that. Again, another hero that I think could be very strong on Hanamura, with just the amount of pushing she can put in, the amount of vision she can create with her creep. So obviously not typically something you pick in spot of a second frontline, but I'm curious to see how it will work. We'll see how it goes over the course of this game. Enemy team grabs Anubrak and Artanis. Well, good news, Anubrak's going to be pretty terribly weak to Zul'jin. They'll be very strong against Kel'Thuz. They're in that sort of tough position where difficult to counter both sides. Maybe like a more versatile warrior would have done, but he should be okay with the Rehgar backing him up. And then they grab the Nikapu grabbing the Artanis as well. So we're gonna be trading like flips and hooks together. I'm gonna be trying to hook his team. He's gonna be trying to swap with my team. We'll see how it goes. We grab Malfurion at the end. I think it's a good Call Malfurion synergizes really nicely with Kel'Thuz. It also synergizes nicely with Stitches. He can throw Roots down to follow up on my hook. He can give Kel'Thuz cooldown reduction, massively increasing Kel'Thuz's damage in a team fight. There's kind of a lot of good things that he does. Anyway, I will see you guys over in the game. So yeah, I will talk to you more then. Alright guys, and here we are loading into the game. Let me just lay this out the groundwork here for roughly what Stitches does as we go into this, to give you kind of an insight into where he fits in the meta, what the purpose of him is. You can see I'm rocking the Head Chef Stitches skin, by the way, which I really like. I thought it was awesome. And you could probably notice in the draft as well in the chat. Not necessarily the purest of intentions of picking Stitches, but what does he do? What's he good at? I think picking Stitches, I mean, he's got a couple of very strong quirks that you're looking for. Obviously, the most obvious one is hooks, right? The hooks that Stitches throws out, that's always worth considering in the draft. Does the enemy team have a hero or multiple heroes that are vulnerable to hooks? Part two of that as well is, does my team have good follow-up to hooks? So, I mean, all well and good if we hook, let's say, Rhaegar into our team. Does my team actually have anything to follow up on that? Or is Rhaegar simply going to be able to go, all right, see ya, and then just walk away without really being punished? So I already mentioned some of this in the draft, but we picked up Malfurion as our final pick. So that's an example of a healer that synergizes really well with Stitches, because, well, Stitches throws out the hooks. Malfurion throws down the roots. They get hooked onto the roots. They get stuck there for a long time. Bad news for them. Rhaegar works in a similar way to a certain extent with the totems he can throw down. Tyrande with her stuns and her Hunter's Mark, another good example, and all that sort of stuff. In terms of heroes that are vulnerable to hooks, we don't like they're actually, the enemy team, funnily enough, actually isn't all that vulnerable. However, he's gonna go down. Rip him. That was a good route from Malf. Good follow from the team, and they are left in a bit of a rough spot. Yeah, I'd say, like, looking at the enemy team, like, who's vulnerable to hooks? Like, Rhaegar obviously is vulnerable to hooks, so he's got quite a bit of in-combat mobility with his Ghost Wolf form. Vala would be fantastic. Like, if we can hit Vala, it's fantastic. But realistically, will we be able to hit her? That's the problem. Vala is actually very small, and she's also very quick. So, getting her with a hook can be very, very challenging. Ironically, it's kind of our team that's more vulnerable to hooks. Kel'Thuz and Zul'jin, Zagara as well. In fact, there's like 3 heroes that are perfect examples. All 3, well, Kel'Thuz and Zagara in particular, very large hitboxes, okay? They're very easy to hit with skill shots. They're just big. Kel'Thuz, like, why is he wearing this big stupid cape? I don't know, but it's making him very vulnerable to hooks. Zagara, likewise, is very big. Zul'jin's actually fairly large as well. They're also all have extremely poor mobility. They're all also extremely squishy. So yeah, you hook one of those in. They're easy enough to hit with the hook. They die very quickly, and they've got very few tools to actually get out once you do capture them. So that's kind of one example of the thinking. Kel'Thuz is another example of a hero on our team that's good at following up on hooks. Oh no, Zul'jin, don't die. Oh, that was unfortunate. Enemy team sneaks away. We're going to come over here, start doing some damage, and Anub'arak goes down, being melted alive. Honestly, this early game is going really well for us, much kind of better than I thought. Obviously, I think this came up in one of another, I can't remember if it was a video or a live stream or something like that. But like the Zagara pick, it's not your traditional like second front line, but it hasn't been hurting us during the laning phase, because it's simply not relevant during the laning phase, because I mean, she's just not in the lane with us. So I mean, like it could be any hero in the other lane, and so long as it doesn't impact us, it doesn't actually matter. Like, I mean, you can see she's winning the lane, so it's all well and good. Pretty much, she's pushing it in. It's going nicely. So long as she keeps the other hero busy. If it's a 4v4, and the other, like, Zagara and then whoever the solo laner for the enemy team is, aren't involved, well, awesome. Doesn't really matter. Like, we're perfectly okay with that and how it's going. She's getting a nice push on here. One of our teammates did go down, Zul'jin, in the bottom. It's actually kind of, I probably should have Hearthstone, I should say, as well, before we went to this payload. You can see I was really low on life and particularly low on mana right now. So yes, we're going to secure the payload. I'm going to Hearthstone now. But probably could have snuck in a Hearthstone and then run to the payload before starting to deliver it. That could have been a little bit better off. Right here, I thought this was a really good opportunity to go to the support camp, which has spawn. There's nothing really to do on the map. I mean, our team is there. They're soaking the lanes. Zul'jin, I was hoping he'd come a bit quicker. He's actually very slow, so this actually slows us down quite a bit. It's going to shave off a few pretty valuable seconds, honestly, in terms of going back to the lane and defending it. So that's not ideal. But obviously I need help to kill this camp. I just don't have the damage output to take it out myself. But camps are extremely important on Hanamura. They give you a massive chunk of XP. I'll try to remember to give you like an early warning. But yeah, the power-ups are pretty good, especially this one. And yeah, all right, cool. We have the hook on Artanis as he's trying to run away, and Zagara finishes him off. Actually, nicely done. But yeah, the power-ups are very strong. So this power-up I've got here, the healing pack that the support camp drops, basically the bruiser camp. And the bruiser camp, he's just really tough. He's a lot of HP and he heals himself, and he does like a decent amount of damage, but that's kind of it. Nothing else fancier than that. I think it takes 15 seconds. It throws like a hot on your whole team. It gives them back a good chunk of mana, and I think 35% of their max HP over 15 seconds. Like it's insanely good, right? It's insanely good. It's better. I think someone put it well. It was like, it's better than a lot of heroics. You know, it's better than a lot of heroics. The Nubkeks trying to do something here. I totally failed there. I was actually trying to hook Zul'jin back. I think I pressed the wrong button. But anyway, we don't quite get the kill on on the Rhaegar, and poor old Zul'jin does go down. So that could have gone a lot better for us there. I should have used my helping hand to hook him over the wall. Might have still died, but it would have been a little bit better than nothing. We could have thrown out the F heal on him then, and things might have looked up a little bit. In terms of the talents I've gone for in Stitches, so I actually missed the first few levels here. I'm going for slam builds, mostly, in this game. Again, like, I think at level 1, Dampen Magic is obviously a very appealing option, which gives you 50 spell armor for a second and a half every 8 seconds after you're hit by an ability. Like, that's a huge deal. You can see there, I pop my F, and it's this it's kind of like a healing well, almost. But like, you can see the enemy team's got one as well, but like a very, very slow healing well, but it adds up to an absolutely insane amount of sustain over the course of a fight. It's really, really good. Yeah, anyway, going back to talent, sorry, Dampen Magic, it's really good for your tankiness. It's very, very powerful, very appealing as a talent. They don't really have much burst spell damage though in this game, so I decided I wouldn't actually bother with that. I'm gonna go for something else instead. So I went for Heavy Slam in this game. We're able to hook Artanis back. There's an attempt to cleanse the hook, but we were a bit too close to him for that to actually work. Interesting attempt though. Our team's sort of re-engaging a little bit too much, and they actually pay the price, and Malf goes down as well. So this is going to be a payload secured for the enemy team. Looks like Azmodan is pushing Zul'jin in pretty effectively in the bottom lane as well. Enemy team hitting level 10 before us, so this is a pretty bad turn in the course of events. We're going to hook Zagara out here. I'm not sure what she was up to there. Luckily, Nikapu misses his swap on Artanis. That might have been me dead. Certainly at least close to. I'm not sure what she was doing trying to stall that out. Obviously, we're in no position to stall out that thing, and she almost got herself killed. And me as well, so that wasn't great. But oh well, this camp is respawning, and Zul'jin is once again beside us. He's gonna, yeah, he's coming. He's coming. He figured it out this time. He's good. Kelthus though, he's in some shit. Kelthus, not sure why he's trying to contest the least important camp when we got this going on. So that's not good. Kelthus is dead. Hopefully Malf will be, yeah, Malf's gonna be fine. So at least that's something. So yeah, enemy team at level 10. We're just kind of chilling out, taking the camp. You could probably see the big chunk of XP there. Get a nice big chunk of XP. Every time you destroy a camp, and like I said, the power up is more than worthwhile. Unfortunately, the team positioning has fallen apart in the last few seconds. Zagara pushing too far down her lane, getting picked off. Kelthus pushing too far forwards in the bottom towards that Merc camp, getting picked off. So we just lost 2 of our heroes, basically for nothing, which is pushing us into a really rough spot. Map's gonna be okay. We're gonna pop our level 10 here, our heroic, which is Putrid Bile. I need to talk about more of these talents. Going for a hook there, don't quite land it. Zagara arrives out of her portal. The ooh, nice one. Kelthus comes out of the cocoon and just immediately starts wrecking face here. Zul'jin picks off the Anubarak as well. Vala is on the run. Azmodan has been split pushing in the meantime. We throw out the hook. Ooh, we just that was like pixel close to not hitting her. That was like barest edge. Holy shit! I didn't realize it was so close at the time. That's awesome. All right, great. Yeah, so I went for, anyway, a slam build in this game instead. Going kind of all in on the damage. They buff the damage of slam, so I think it should be pretty effective. But yeah, I think heavy slam at level 1, which increases the damage of our slam, which is our W ability, by 50%. It's not bad. Level 4 then, Putrid Ground. Enemies hit by slam are infected by Vile Gas. Now this is a bigger deal. Vile Gas is our trait. And what this does is whenever we take damage, it's got a short cooldown as you can see, but we emit this gas cloud that poisons enemies for this short dot. It actually hits pretty hard. Like, it's actually kind of substantial enough. So our slam will now apply this to everyone that we hit, which is pretty useful. Level 7 then, this sort of comes full circle and gets even better because we get Toxic Gas, which increases the radius of Vile Gas by 25%, just our default trait version, and then increases its damage by 50%, which is a pretty massive buff actually. So that actually adds up. It adds up to a lot of damage, guys. Stitches does a pretty fuck ton amount of damage. You can see the dot ticking away in the minion wave, and you can see it's actually fairly substantial there. I mean, minion wave is a pretty good way to spot that in action. Like whenever we slam the minion wave, it's going to be pretty good at that. That was kind of a wasted hook. Obviously, they appeared on the map, so it was obviously a waste pretty much as soon as it happened. But I was thinking they might go for that Merc Camp. They didn't quite yet. And Ubrak might dive here. We'll see. Okay, we're going to do some damage here. We're going to actually pop our heroic because Nubkeks is stuck in a bit of a rough spot, and it does actually bait out the Ancestral, which is a bit better for us. Vala's actually gone in pretty deep, so we're able to punish her quite a bit, getting in on top for her, doing plenty of damage, soaking it up. Looks like we're going to go down here. Yes, we are. Looks like the game froze. Oh shit, my recording is frozen. Ah, it's back. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. That's weird. I'm not sure what happened. Some bug in the recording. Level 10, I already mentioned, but Putrid Bile is my choice here. So this will throw down this bile around us, which gives us 20% move speed while we're emitting bile, which is pretty nice. So it makes you be kind of extra quick when you're running around the fights. Stitches he's big and he's slow, basically, so that's a bit of an issue. There's a turret right there. No one's picking up. You can definitely see that the map is new. No one has quite noticed. They're probably going to get themselves killed now trying to get it. Yeah. They waited way too long to pick that up and then got kind of baited into it by the time they realized. So we're going to hook Zul'jin away, try to keep him alive. Rhaegar goes deep for that bite. He might pay a heavy price. Zul'jin almost dead. Oh, the blind from Artanis doesn't quite pick him off. And we're just trying to get everyone out of here alive, doing what damage we can with the slams. Trying to tank these guys out. Oh, the sound is actually desynced for me as well. This is wonky. Okay, well, hopefully that won't bother you guys too much. I'm not sure what happened with the recording there. There's no way I'll try to fix it in editing, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Putrid Bile, like, it leaves all this poison behind you as you run, which does damage. It's got a short enough cooldown as well, 60-second cooldown. So it's just a nice, like, team fighting ability that you can bring in right there. Despite not going too great for us, but Nubkeks has gone down in the meantime. We have to run away because we are in a lot of problems here as Stitches. We have like, pretty much no HP left. Gonna run tap this well, come back, see if we can't help our teammates. It's not going too bad. Oh, Artanis lives with a sliver of HP. We're gonna come down, we're gonna try get the Zagara. We miss her by just a sliver, unfortunately, and she goes down. Oh yeah, at this point the Zagara starts like pinging me. He's getting real frustrated because we like missed that by like an inch. It was less than an inch, missed it by a sliver, so he's super frustrated. Who knows why. I think, anyway, he's just pinging us loads. I decided to just leave him on. In this game. Oh, now he's gonna like start spamming Kelthus as well. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, Zagara. We're really lucky to have this guy on our team. He's the kind of player you want in Hero League. Nice. Nice. Anyway, level 13. This is an interesting talent here, I feel, for the slam build on Stitches. Because you do have a slam talent called Mega Smash, which I didn't take, which increases the range and the arc of slam by 25%. It makes it a lot bigger. It's actually pretty good. I think it's pretty good. What I went for, though, is Indigestion, which is whenever we use Devour, which is our E, we actually create a Wretchling. So it basically spawns this little minion thing. I was hoping that we'd actually catch Asmodan there, but he didn't juke, so we didn't catch him at all. That was a total fail. But yeah, it spawns this little dude. He actually does a decent enough amount of damage. It's actually not terrible. We're just going to try bully this. You can see Val's taking a huge amount of damage. We're going to try get her with the hook. Didn't land, but she goes down anyway. But yeah, the Wretchling and the Vile Gas poison that he applies is actually pretty strong. Like, it does a lot of damage, so it's definitely something I think is worth probably picking up. I think it's a really good talent. Like, the Wretchling itself actually hits relatively hard, and then once you've taken the Toxic Gas talent at 7, making your gas do a lot more damage, having a Wretchling apply that too, it's pretty damn useful. Our teammates are trying to contest the payload. That's a huge mistake. Zagara is spamming us once again. For some reason, she thought that engaging 2v3 into the enemy team would be a great idea. So, yeah, at this point, I was just like, I was getting kind of mad. But yeah, I was like, look, you went in 2v3. You could have waited for me. You could have done anything. There's no reason to fight that there. You just died for no reason, so don't blame me. Like, the guy is, it's obviously like the guy's like tilted. He's spam pinging loads of people, basically for just like the smallest mistakes. Or Kelthus just saying ignore, like, yeah, he's just super tilted. So that's always annoying, but we'll just deal with it as best we can. In this fight, waiting for Nubkeks spell armor to expire before we hit him with our E. We're gonna try to keep Kelthus alive. We actually get hit into this, it's a good cocoon actually. And we get taken out. It basically wastes our whole putrid file. Now we do really good damage. Vala just evaporates. Kelth is helping out with that as well, and she goes down. You can see our level 16 talent doing work here as well. This is Pulverize. Decreases the cooldown of our slam by 2 seconds, so we get to slam way more often, which is more damage, more applications of vile gas, just all that good stuff that we've already picked up in our talent so far. And it also slows enemies by 75% for 1 second, which is a really long slow. Again, aiming the hook slightly to the left there, hoping to catch someone out. They actually didn't juke though, so they just kept running the way they were going, so the hook missed. It's one of the things with Stitch's hooks. Landing good ones versus, like, you're never gonna hit them all. It can be quite difficult, but a big important part of Stitch's hooks is trying to predict where your enemies are gonna go. Sometimes you get it right, it looks great. Sometimes you get it wrong, it looks terrible. But yeah, that Pulverized talent doing a lot of work, I feel. Like, it gives you a lot more control, which is something you're lacking with Stitches. It also gives you inherent synergy with the hook itself, with your base kit. So while you hook someone in, nice. Nubrak, they're just doing like a desperate last ditch attempt to try to stop this boss. They have no choice here except to try to stop us, because the boss obviously is the finishing blow on core. We pick it up, and there we win the game, which is pretty sweet. It was a close game, a really good and interesting one, I have to say. But yeah, getting a slow on slam, you can like hook people in, slam them, and everything works out. We actually grabbed MVP in that one, which is pretty cool. People gave us a few votes as well, which is nice. So I was really happy with that. I think the Stitches pick is like, it's still a bit of an oddball pick, but I think it actually worked really well in this game, and I think the slam build and stuff worked great as well. Look, I'll show you the stats coming up right here. You can see just how much sort of damage and stuff you're actually able to do with this guy. It's pretty good. Which Nikaboo's not happy with Hanamura. I think I played like 2 games on it and won both of them. So I'm like, no, I like it, man. This map seems great. But you can see, like, we did 38,000 hero damage. Like, we did as much hero damage as Kelthus did. It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Like, through the main tank. I'm just gonna report this guy for spam as well. And yeah, check out this loot chest we're gonna grab. But yeah, I mean, Stitches, he's pretty cool. I think he seems to be pretty good on Hanamura too, I have to say. Because you're spending so long fighting over the payloads, you're kind of like visible on the map at all times. It gives you like a lot of hook opportunities. I think it actually works pretty well, and that is a damn good loot chest right there. Very happy with that one. And I hope you guys are happy with the video and that you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And should be a talent build on the left-hand side of the screen right now. And there should be buttons you can press to subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Check out another video on the right-hand side as well. And I hope to see you again very soon for more Heroes of the Storm. And sneak preview, maybe an Overwatch video coming out during the week in the next couple of days maybe. So stay tuned for that. I look forward to seeing you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.